The forest holds secrets, ancient and deep. For most of us, these are just whispers on the wind, shadows in the corner of our eye. But for one man, a seasoned woodsman named Silas, the forest decided to share one of its biggest secrets. This is the incredible story of what he found when he returned to his remote cabin one fateful evening. Silas had lived in his handcrafted cabin nestled deep within the Pacific Northwest for over 20 years. He knew the woods like the back of his hand, every creek, every game trail, every ancient moss-covered tree. He was a man who valued solitude, but he was never truly alone. The forest was his companion, its sounds his daily conversation. But nothing in his 2 decades of wilderness living could have prepared him for this. It had been a long day. Silas had been out checking his trap lines since dawn, the air crisp with the promise of an early autumn. As dusk began to paint the sky in shades of purple and orange, he made his way back home, his trusty dog Buster trotting faithfully by his side. The familiar plume of smoke rising from his chimney was a welcome sight, a beacon of warmth and comfort in the vast wilderness. He pushed open the heavy oak door, expecting the usual scene: the crackling fire, the worn leather armchair, the scent of pine and wood. The fire was crackling, and the armchair was there. But something was very, very different. Lying on the bearskin rug directly in front of the hearth, curled up in a tight ball, was a creature unlike anything he had ever seen. Buster, usually boisterous upon entering, froze at the door, letting out a low, confused whine. Silas put a hand on his dog's head to calm him, his own heart thumping against his ribs. He took a cautious step inside, his eyes wide with disbelief. The creature was small, about the size of a human toddler, and covered from head to toe in thick, shaggy, cinnamon brown fur. It had long limbs, and its oversized feet were tucked underneath its body. It was fast asleep, its little chest rising and falling rhythmically with each breath, its face peaceful in the warm glow of the fire. Silas's mind raced. A bear cub. No, the face was too human-like. The nose was flat, the brow pronounced. Its hands, or what he could see of them, had distinct fingers. A monkey. Impossible. Not this far north, not in these mountains. Every logical explanation he tried to conjure evaporated the longer he stared. Then a word, a legend whispered around campfires and in old folk tales, pushed its way into his mind. Bigfoot, Sasquatch. Could this tiny, slumbering creature really be a baby Bigfoot? He slowly circled the hearth, his boots silent on the wooden floor. The creature didn't stir. It seemed utterly exhausted, content in the radiating warmth. Where was its mother? How did it get inside? The questions tumbled through Silas's mind. He noticed the door latch wasn't fully secured. He must have been hasty leaving that morning. The little one must have wandered in, drawn by the warmth escaping from the drafty door, and simply fallen asleep. A wave of protectiveness washed over Silas, quieting his initial shock. This wasn't a monster, it was a child. A lost, vulnerable child. He saw no sign of injury, just deep, profound sleep. Whatever journey it had been on, it had clearly taken its toll. He quietly added another log to the fire, ensuring the warmth wouldn't fade. He then sat down in his armchair, a silent guardian, watching over the most unbelievable houseguest in the world. As the night deepened, the forest outside fell silent. Inside the cabin, the only sounds were the crackling fire and the soft breathing of the mysterious guest. Silas didn't sleep. He couldn't. He just watched a million thoughts and emotions swirling within him. He was a man who had chosen a life of isolation. And now, in the heart of that isolation, he had found the most extraordinary company imaginable. Around midnight, the little creature stirred. It stretched its long limbs, let out a soft, sleepy coo, and its eyes fluttered open. They were huge, dark, and incredibly intelligent. They blinked a few times, adjusting to the firelight, and then they found Silas. There was no fear in them, only a deep, soulful curiosity. Silas held his breath, not moving a muscle. The baby Bigfoot sat up, looking round the cabin with wide-eyed wonder. It looked at the stone fireplace, the timber walls, the sleeping dog in the corner, and then back at Silas. It tilted its head, a gesture so familiar, so human. Silas slowly, gently raised a hand in a peaceful gesture. "Hey there, little fella," he whispered, his voice raspy. "You're safe here." To his astonishment, the creature didn't bolt. It made a soft, chirping sound and crawled a little closer to the fire. It seemed to understand. It wasn't a pet or a specimen. It was an intelligent being that had stumbled into his world, seeking refuge. Silas knew, in that moment, that this was a secret he would have to keep. The world wasn't ready for this. This little one needed protection, not to become a spectacle. He spent the rest of the night just being with it. He didn't try to touch it or cage it. He simply shared his space, his warmth. He offered it a bowl of water, which it delicately lapped up, and some berries he had foraged, which it nibbled on with surprising dexterity. It was a silent, peaceful communion between two beings from different worlds, brought together by a cold night and a warm fire. As the first light of dawn began to creep through the window, a sound pierced the morning quiet. It was a low, resonant call from deep in the woods, a call that was both a question and a command. The baby Bigfoot's head snapped up. It answered with its own series of high-pitched chirps and clicks. Its mother, she was looking for him. The little one looked at the door, then back at Silas. In its dark, expressive eyes, Silas saw something he could only describe as gratitude. It gave one last soft coo, then confidently padded to the door. Silas got up and opened it. The cool morning air rushed in. The creature paused on the threshold, turned its head one last time, and then disappeared into the dense tree line without a sound. Silas stood at the open door for a long time, listening as the calls faded into the distance. He was alone again. The bearskin rug was empty. The only evidence of his visitor was a few stray cinnamon-colored hairs and a profound sense of wonder that would stay with him for the rest of his life. He hadn't taken a photo or any proof. He didn't need to. The memory was etched into his soul. The forest had trusted him with its greatest secrets, and he would honor that trust. Some things aren't meant to be proven to the world. They're meant to be experienced by the heart. Thank you so much for watching this incredible story. What would you have done if you were in Silas's shoes? Let us know in the comments below. And if you love stories that explore the mysteries of our world, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an adventure. We'll see you in the next video.